Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited today because I have a lot of fun things to share with you. So I just recently did a video on the Isabelle cross-strung harp, which is a cute little tiny cross-strung. And I just sort of wanted to do a comparison of all of the cross-strungs that I have. So if you are thinking about getting into the instrument, you can sort of see where you would like to enter. So the three harps that I have for you today, we're going to start with the Isabelle. This one has 22 natural strings, and its range goes from the G below middle C all the way up to a high G. So it's got those 3 octaves. And this one is made of cherry. And this harp is actually a Pakistani Rusbek harp, which generally I'm so not crazy about. But I really feel like a big part of the lack of quality there is because of the really bad levers that are on those harps. And of course, on a cross-strung, you're not worrying about levers. So I don't think that this is the worst harp in the world. I do think that it is absolutely not on the level of quality as Stoney End, but I don't think it's awful. And this harp also has 22 natural strings, but interestingly, this harp goes down to the C below middle C, so it's got a full octave there, but it only goes up to a higher C. So you still have the 3 octaves to play around with, but it has a slightly different range than the Isabelle. It's also a little bit bigger, probably because of those lower notes, so not quite as portable or easy to hold on to. And finally, I have the Rebecca 30. This one has a really neat range. So here's the C below middle C, and then it goes all the way down to the F below that. So you get the additional 4 bass notes from this Caitlyn harp and an additional whole octave from the Isabelle. And it does go all the way up to a G natural up here on this side. So that's 4 octaves and 1 extra note. Now, I do want to say before we get too much further that if you are interested in a cross-strung harp, there are quite a few other harp makers that will make them. I have seen Argent Fox, I have seen cross-strung harps made by Blevins Harps, and I'm sure there's a few more out there. So you certainly, it's not a choice between Stoney End or a Pakistani harp. There's lots of other choices out there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you sort of the size difference between these 2 harps. As you can see, the Isabelle is not a lot smaller than the Caitlyn, but it is pretty significant, I think, if you're planning on playing it, especially while standing. The Isabelle has this neat little strap on it, so you can actually play it while you're walking around, which I love. And the Caitlyn, not only does it not have these strap buttons, but I think it would just be too big and too cumbersome to do that with. It is quite a bit heavier than the Isabelle also. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and play some arpeggios. I have learned a few songs on the cross-strung, but not at performance level. It is a very complicated instrument. If you're thinking about getting into it, it's definitely very different from your standard harp. And I've explained this on my other cross-strung harp videos, but I'll just go over it real quick. So the basic premise behind the cross-strung harp is you have your natural notes coming off of the side of the neck, and you have the black keys of the piano, your sharps and your flats, that are strung on this side of the neck. And they meet on either side of the soundboard, which means that in the middle your strings look like this. They're all crossed together. Now it's made that way so that you can access both the natural notes and the sharp notes with either one of your hands. So these these harps have absolutely no levers on them. The way that you do your chromaticism is just to play either set of strings. Okay, so I'm just going to play some arpeggios on these harps and kind of give you an idea of how they sound. And here is the Caitlyn being played. This one comes with some pretty different nylon strings from what I'm used to. They almost feel sort of rough. So I think they're definitely different than the ones that I usually use. So this sound will not only be affected by the way the harp is made, but it's also going to be affected by these different strings that are on here. So play some arpeggios for you. And finally, I'm going to play you some arpeggios on the Rebecca. This one is made of maple. I don't think I said that before. Yeah. You can hear this one, because of its bigger size, it has a whole lot more resonance. It's really pretty. And also you can tell that I am certainly not proficient at this instrument. I would like to say, while this is super great for playing really chromatic, difficult music, a lot of harp players aren't at that level. I'm certainly not at that level. But that doesn't mean that you can't use the chromaticism of the cross-strung harp. What I personally really love it for is when I'm doing covers of popular songs. Some of those songs are super easy, but they also have chords in them that if you're trying to play it on a lever harp, all those flips, it's just too much. So I really love it for playing more contemporary music, especially the kind of music that I listen to is more indie stuff. So yeah, you can go from playing a C major chord to an A major chord, and it's no big deal. It's super easy to do. So there you go, a comparison of 3 cross-strung harps, all of which I love, to be honest. I think they all have their pros and their cons, and I really like them. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments, and I would love to answer whatever questions you have. And I will also throw up some links, so you can grab the Caitlyn harp from Rusbeck on Amazon, and I will put a link to the Stoney End website also, where you can order the Rebecca and the Isabelle. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for watching my channel. If you want to click the subscribe button right up there, then you can subscribe to my channel and see all my new videos. And if you would like to check out my Patreon, the link is down there in the description. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.